Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday here on Inspiration for Today. And I'm glad you're with us. Here we are at, oh wait, no, I wasn't going to tell you where we are until Monday. And the reason is that we're not in Lake Conroe anymore, but we're going to talk about what I saw in Lake Conroe. So this week is all that area, which is just north of Houston. Here we are, Diane and I, on our 50th anniversary trip and going to various places. But today, I just wanted to share. So I was thinking that for Friday, and by the way, that means Sunday's coming up, and we have worship right here on TV6 at 5 o'clock. Or I even recommend we want to gather back together. And as I'm shooting this, we are still meeting at Lutheran Church of the Cross. Clubhouse 5, at least as of now, hasn't opened up. So that's at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. I hope you'll give it a try. And anyway, I wanted to end this week of shows here at Lake Conroe with something awesome, something amazing. And I'm looking around and, well, actually, let me read the verse that hit my heart this week and why I wanted to share, and it comes from Romans chapter 1 at verse 18. It actually answers a lot of questions that people have about, well, what about people that don't actually hear about Jesus? What about them? Do they get to go to heaven? Well, this is an important verse for that question, but it's also for other things we're going to talk about today. Chapter 1 of Romans, verse 18 says, "The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of men," and here's the key, "who suppress the truth by their wickedness. Since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that men are without excuse." People are without excuse because what can be known of God is so evident in his creation. Did you know that? Well, it obviously is. And we're going to talk about that this morning because as I was thinking about what awesome thing in Lake Conroe can I show that's the power of God. And as I thought about that and actually prayed about it this week, it came to me that the simplest things are often those things where God displays so much of himself. As I was walking around, and I go, as you know, I go for long walks, what did I see most? I saw birds and flowers. And that tells you so much. Let's just start with flowers. When you see all these flowers, and we're going to be putting up pictures of some of the things I saw this last week, I learned several things. One, variety. Wow, there's a lot of variety in flowers. Obviously, God likes variety. He likes it in every species, including people. And that's why we don't all look alike. We're all equal in the eyes of God, but we look different. He shows it in every part of his creation. Hey, he likes color. He likes color, doesn't he? He's seeing a lot of color. But then I got really fascinated with birds. I saw so many different kinds of birds, which again shows the variety that God loves. I hope you enjoy seeing some of these birds. And one of them, there's a video of a couple of ducks. And these ducks hung out right by our patio all week long. I feel like I became friend with this pair of ducks. Actually, there was a third one that was usually a part of it. But ducks are common, but they're not simple. Obviously, God likes lots of birds. This one home I came across as I was walking, I think you'll enjoy, but he built houses for the birds high up in the air, and every day I know he was feeding them because the video that you're probably watching right now shows that there were lots of birds there, but some mornings it was double and triple that amount. But it was awesome. It was awesome to see those birds, and they're pretty happy once they get fed, I think. They were singing and making lots of noise. I totally enjoyed that. I found some big black birds. I think they were vultures. If any of you know what they actually were, please let me know. But they looked they were huge, first of all. And second of all, they looked so fierce. I didn't even want to get close to them. They'd be better pictures if I wasn't so afraid of those big black birds. But God created them, and he had a place for them. And I don't know exactly what it was, but I got enthralled with those big black birds. So obviously we have to ask ourselves, how did all this come to be? How did it come to be? Well, there's basically two options for all this that you've seen. One, God created them. In fact, on the fifth day, it says God created every winged bird. Genesis chapter 1, verse 21. That's one option. It could be true. It could be true, but let's consider the other option. The other option is, well, it all happened by chance. By chance. And, I guess that's a possibility. But there are a couple of obstacles with that choice. Let's just think of a few. One, if everything happened by chance and there's no creation, nothing exists. That's a tough one to overcome, isn't it? Yeah. If there is no God and no creation, then, well, nothing exists. But wait. There's the Big Bang Theory, that out of nothing comes the universe. Yeah, that's a possibility, I guess, out of nothing. All laws of physics are gone, but anyway. Now let's say out of nothing came the universe. And out of the universe came a planet that's perfect distance from its sun, spins at just the right rate, does everything just right, has an atmosphere and so on. There's still one problem. Yeah, there's no life. There's no life. Well, I guess given enough time, unanimate matter can form life. That's what this option has. You have to believe that. And interesting that none of the supercomputers and all the scientists of the world and all that running trillions of chances has never been able to create life. And yet this option calls for us that life just happened. Wow, that's tough. But let's just say somehow life pops out of nothing and now there's life. Both trees and plants and animals and flowers and birds. How do you sustain life? How would you then sustain life? Because the things that are alive have to have something to eat, or what? When they die and then there's no life and we have to start the whole process over again. Or flowers, boy, they need bees to pollinate and live. But there's no bees. I don't know, but the bees can't come from. It's an option, but it's just never been able to be done by humans to create anything alive, plant or animal, from nothing. So those are the two options, and I hope you enjoyed seeing what we found here in Lake Conroe, Texas. I think it's pretty obvious which option I'm choosing. It's the simple one. It's the only one that makes sense. Don't let you be one of these that Paul writes about in Romans 1, where it says, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. What's there made by God is there. Think and pray about it today. And then we'll see you again tomorrow and we'll talk about this new place. See you then. God bless. Have a great weekend.
Beautiful day. It's wonderful. This is the day that the Lord has made.